I'd rather show you what I got. Where I walk, where I talk. See me flying down my route, pass me the ball. I ain't dropping none, I don't fumble at all. Winner, chicken dinner every time we ball. Throwing it like a burner, I dunk it like LeBron. Hey. Monday Night Fredo, Infinity TV. Monday Night Fredo.
Yes, Monday night. We are live here from the Cincinnati Studios in Los Angeles. Thank you guys all for tuning in here because it's going to be an amazing Monday night show right now. There is two great games taking place right now. We got Monday Night Football between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Steelers up by a touchdown right now here in the fourth quarter. But another game going down not too far from where we're at here in Los Angeles over at the Crypto.com arena between the Indiana Pacers and the hot streak Lakers. I mean, I don't know if it's even exciting to see them beat down in the last 4 wins they've got. In the last 4 wins, they beat San Antonio Spurs 3 times, and they beat the Detroit Pistons once, which are not impressive wins. And so I don't know why people are actually excited, but I'm going to break that down to you guys in a little bit right now. But I do want to get started here with some NFL football. Yesterday, man, I mean, every Sunday, that's why I love doing the show on Mondays, because every Sunday, there's so much football that goes on. There's so much activity. And believe it or not, there are people that are maybe going to be out of their team. And there are people that are actually having hopes into winning the Super Bowl this year, which, we all saw Aaron Rodgers yesterday with the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, which technically the Eagles are the best team in football right now, technically. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers exited the game. He left with an injury and was replaced by Jordan Love. When you look at the name Jordan Love, kind of reminds you of a situation that Aaron Rodgers himself was in about 12 years ago when Brett Favre, former future Hall of Famer quarterback for the Packers, before he left to the New York Jets, or not leave, get traded, but when Aaron Rodgers was a backup for Brett Favre for about 2 years there, he spent some great quality time behind a great Hall of Famer in Brett Favre, learn, watch, and then once it was time to get on the field, he performed, won 1 Super Bowl, multiple NFC titles, but has not ever won again. And, now that Jordan Love was somewhat of his replacement, drafted in the first round 2 seasons ago, and when that happened, Aaron Rodgers was like, well, what's going on here? That's why there was just so much drama over in Cheeseland this past offseason, where whether is he going to re-sign with the team? Is he going to leave with to somewhere else? Is he going to go and maybe headline, the TV show Jeopardy? Because that's what he wants to do. He wants to get out of the picture, and it seems like he just wants to get out of Green Bay. Yesterday kind of seemed to be the ending chapter of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. So some of you Green Bay Packer fans out there, it's time to get your Aaron Rodgers jerseys, put them away, and now get a Love jersey, because Jordan Love is only going to bring love to the city. What he did yesterday, he showed great outings. I mean, when I was watching a little bit of the clips, I was like, wow, Jordan Love actually looks pretty good. He actually looked like he learned something being on the sideline for 2 years. And that's the same thing that Jimmy Garoppolo went through being in New England when, being under Tom Brady, and then got traded over to the San Francisco 49ers and still doing his thing. So shout out to Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners as well. But there's just a lot of talented football quarterbacks, whether they're older or they're younger. When we talk about older, we also look at Tom Brady yesterday going into Cleveland, which it seemed like, right now, Tampa Bay was a 5-5 team right now. It's going into Cleveland yesterday. They were 5-5, looking someone in the hunt for an NFC playoff spot. But it took the Cleveland Browns. It took for the Cleveland Browns to knock down Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. And Cleveland now has some sort of hope, having Deshaun Watson, who has just been put back out of the suspension NFL list from the NFL commissioner. So Deshaun Watson is back in the NFL after being suspended for a year and a half, and will be taking charge this Sunday against his old team that traded him to Cleveland in the Texans. So Great game to go ahead and look forward to this upcoming weekend. But enough about Tom Brady. Enough about Aaron Rodgers. Enough about Russell Wilson. These quarterbacks are just not doing their thing this season. There is one young quarterback that did something yesterday. A lot of people were coming into this game and saying, well, hey, look, you got the number 1 overall pick in that year draft, which was in 2020. You got Kyler Murray. Great quarterback. Amazing. At 5'10", running the way he runs, man, I was watching the game and I was like, man, this guy can play some ball. But there's another guy who got drafted in the same draft. Drafted 6 overall by the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert. So yesterday was the matchup of the tallest quarterback in the league, in Justin Herbert being at 6'6", and the shortest quarterback in the league over at 5'10". So that matchup yesterday within itself was a matchup where you always look at two guys that get drafted in the same draft. You want to see how they compete. You want to see the number 1 overall pick in Kyler Murray. You want to see the 6th overall pick in Justin Herbert. It was a close game, and believe it or not, for the people watching this game, this was maybe the best game of the weekend because it went down to the wire. It went down to the wire to another. Man, I want to have my eyes closed right now because this is exactly the way I watched this play. I mean, the Chargers were down at 7. They were down 7 with under 20 seconds remaining in the game with no timeouts. Justin Herbert took them from the 20th yard line all the way to the goal line. It took a nice little curl play that got Eckler into the end zone that not tied the game. Scored 6 points. So they were down 1. The score was 24-23. 24-23 with under 10 seconds remaining. And all the Chargers needed to do is kick the field goal, tie the game, go to overtime. You got to, especially the way the game was going yesterday, the Chargers had nothing going in the first half. And it really took for not just in the first half, but in the first quarter was maybe the ugliest first quarter the Chargers have had this season. In the second quarter, the someone woke up, scored 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert was kind of going. But the game was just not going their way all game long. And if you go into a situation the way they did, they scored a touchdown. They're down 1. Just go for the field goal and tie it up, go to overtime and see what happens there. But no, no, that's not exactly what a head coach from the Chargers, who's on the hot seat right now, even though after this win, he's still on the hot seat. There's a lot of multiple reports out there already. There's multiple. And I mean, when I say multiple, I'm talking about a lot. A lot of multiple reports that are being confirmed that if Brandon Staley does not win a playoff game, it's not just about making the playoffs now. So you make the playoffs, great. You got to win a playoff game. And there's a lot of multiple reports saying that the Chargers will move on from Brandon Staley if he does not win a playoff game, because with a type of roster like this, you got the tools to win. There's certain teams and certain coaches that are begging for what you got. And when you have what you got to do something with it. I'm serious. And this is the same situation. I'm looking at Darvin Ham with the Lakers. I'm like, you got the tools. You got the ingredients. Now go cook something. And with Brandon Staley right now, he took a major, I tweeted this yesterday, and I said that Brandon Staley got the biggest balls for going for this play. He went for a 2-point conversion to take a walk-off home victory. And that's exactly what they did. Justin Herbert completed a 2-point conversion pass to Gerald Everett to tie the end to win the game 25-24. It was just an incredible game, but you got to give credit to Justin Herbert for making those. He was on a 2-minute drill with no timeouts. No timeouts on 2-minute drill, and Herbert did his thing. The defense played tremendous. I mean, you look at Derwin James, the safety for the Chargers, that big interception and a fumble himself. So you talk about certain key players that, just come up with key plays at key moments throughout this game. And that's exactly what they did. But when we look at the biggest major call that happened yesterday, the Chargers came up successful with that. So that's a good start to that. But like I said, Brandon Staley is on a hot seat. If this seat right here had lava under there, there's fire coming out of here. I mean, this is a seat that Brandon Staley is sitting on right now till the end of the year. We got 6 games remaining in the Charger playoff hunt. We look at the biggest game of them all, which I am so excited. I cannot wait for this Sunday. Sunday afternoon, the Chargers face the I don't know. Should I call them the Oakland Raiders? The Oakland Raiders in Vegas. All right. So it's the Raiders and the Chargers this Sunday. It's going to be a great game. But right after that, the Chargers now got 2 straight home games after this. They got the Miami Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans on December 11th and December 18th here at SoFi Stadium. Then you got a Monday Night Football game the day after Christmas on the 26th in Indianapolis. So they're facing the Colts. Then they come back for another back-to-back primetime game on January the 1st, New Year's Day. The Chargers are facing the Los Angeles Rams, and it is a Charger home game. It's a big thing. It's a Charger home game. So that's that. And then the last game of the season, the Chargers will face the Denver Broncos in Denver. All right. So there's a couple good games out there. The Chargers kind of seemed like, okay, there's only one team you got to look out for in this next 6 games. So you got to look out for the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are undefeated with Tua Tagovailoa. With that guy on quarterback right there, they are undefeated. So that team, Miami, is coming down to SoFi Stadium on December the 13th, or December the 11th. December the 11th. So it's going to be a very good game. But there's a lot of football to talk about. There's a lot more to talk about. If I have some time, I am going to get to it. But the most important thing right now we want to get into is NBA basketball. But we're going to get into NBA basketball when we return. But one thing I want you guys to go ahead and think about right now is I'm going to let you guys know who is the best team in the NBA right now and who is the best player in the NBA right now. And believe it or not, both of those two are the same team. The best team is honestly the best player right now. So that best player, I'm going to let you know who it is when we return here on Monday Night Friday. Peace.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Hey guys, you got to check out the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. It's a family-owned and operated pre-ICO, Prop D compliant, and recreational collective serving Chatsworth, the San Fernando Valley, and the surrounding Los Angeles areas. They offer discounts for all our veterans and seniors 55 plus, as well as first-time patient and referral discounts. You can order online at purelifesfv.org. That's purelifesfv.org.
And we're back here on Monday Night Freedom Live from the Insanity Studios here in Los Angeles. Make sure you subscribe here right now. Hit the subscribe button right now on the Insanity Studios because they got a lot of amazing shows. And of course, you can always tune in every Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific here and catch the Profanity Nation. All right, they go ahead and catch them because they bring you all of the latest hoop updates, everything on the Lakers, everything on the NBA, and always have a lot of great guests. But right now, I mean, it is breaking news. I mean, I just got on my phone as we were on this commercial break right now, and I see we got breaking news in both LA teams. We got breaking news on the Lakers as there is a game going on right now at the Crypto.com arena where LeBron James is out with a left ankle injury. That is breaking news. LeBron James is out with the left ankle injury. He is in the locker room right now getting it looked at, but it said that it is very likely that he will not return to the game. But LeBron James is out, and the Lakers are actually up by 3 at the end of the first quarter, 32-29. But that kind of changes the whole picture right now, what I was really going to talk about, because it kind of lets you know that these older players are just getting hurt. I mean, we saw the run that Anthony Davis was on just a few days ago, and in the 3-game winning streak they had, he was just playing 35, 36 points per game, 15, 18 rebounds, and he's just playing tremendous, great. But when you look at what the Lakers got to face with, it's like, okay, well, one day this guy's out, and then tomorrow this guy's out, and then the following day both of them are out, and then maybe next day they'll both back. But then the next day, well, Anthony Davis is out. It's like the inconsistency is just never going to be there. They keep getting injured, and just right now, like it's kind of reality. We look at LeBron James. He's entering his 20th year in the league. We cannot depend on someone like that. One guy we can depend on is Russell Westbrook. He got the legs, he got the energy, and there's no other player on the Lakers right now that's playing with the motor that Russell Westbrook has. I mean, he's going there every single day. I mean, he's only missed one game all season long. One game. He's there, and that one game was for rest on the back-to-back. So Russell Westbrook got to stay in LA. There was a report earlier today that I saw from Dave McMenamin from ESPN that did say that the Lakers are looking into doing some sort of trade, whether it's going to be trying to go small ball or they're going to try to play the big ball. And in a case like this, I mean, you look at small ball, you look at maybe Anthony Davis staying up at the 5 spot. Why bring Miles Turner down here when we don't need another injured player all the time? Someone that cannot shoot good free throws. We don't need a guy like that in here now in Los Angeles. We don't. We need someone that's going to be able to hit free throws, going to be able to hit some 3-point shots. So the Lakers got to go ahead and keep what they got right now, because it seemed they got some sort of good momentum. Today was a good picture and a good example of what they're facing, because, like I said earlier, they beat the San Antonio Spurs 3 times in 7 days. And they beat on Detroit within those 7-8 days as well. So those are not good wins. Tonight against Indianapolis, against Indiana, that can be a good win. Next week, they got a couple good pieces and a couple good games. Memphis is coming around the corner. The Lakers are going to be going on their East Coast trip. They're going to be visiting Boston, visiting New York, Charlotte. So there's going to be a couple competitive games coming up in a few weeks. But what can they really do? Nothing. Stick with what you got and don't move a muscle. Plain and simple. I don't want to see Miles Turner here in Los Angeles. I don't want to see Buddy Hield here in Los Angeles, even though Buddy Hield can shoot the goddamn ball. But I don't want to see those 2 guys here for Russell Westbrook and 2 draft picks. I don't. You just don't. I mean, if I'm Rod Pelinka, you got to play it smart, because December 15th is not just another date, even though we're about 2 weeks away from there, but it's not just another date. December 15th is the date that every NBA team is allowed to trade every single player on their roster, meaning the Lakers are looking. This is something that I read earlier today through Dave McMenamin, said that the Lakers are waiting to December 15th to use the contract from Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley's contract is pretty nice, pretty huge, something they can move, but they cannot move that piece until December 15th. Patrick Beverley has not been the Beverley that we've been expecting, that's played with the Clippers, that played with Houston, that played with Minnesota. Patrick has not really done anything. He's shooting the worst percentage in his career. He's been in the league for about 13 years, and this is the worst shooting year of his whole career. So what we're getting out of Beverley is not what the Lakers were asking for. There's one thing that I want to talk about right now. I want to mention that right now that I said Patrick Beverley's name. That incident that happened, where I believe they were, where were they at? I forgot who they were playing. Oh, Phoenix. They were playing Phoenix. When Patrick Beverley went out there and protected his team and pushed the Andre Ayton from the back. And yeah, I get Devin Booker. You want to go ahead and post game and say, well, hey, how about you push him in his chest? Well, how about you face him instead of standing over his teammate? It wasn't Patrick Beverley's fault that he was behind him. If he was in front of, if he was facing his chest, I'm pretty sure Patrick Beverley would have still win and pushed him in his chest if he was facing him. But that was a disgusting play, starting from Devin Booker, who hit him in the face, knocked him down. Then Devin Booker stood there and looked at him for a second, give them that big mugging shot, and then walked away. Then here comes his other teammate, Mr. Big Shot over here, want to go ahead and look like King Kong and stuff. And he literally came out here and just stood over him like, come on, get out the way, go check the ball, get back on defense. And you're not going to do that when Patrick Beverly is that other guy's teammate. You're just not going to do that on Patrick Beverly. So Patrick Beverly, you spend 3 suspensions. I think I saw the number. It was ridiculous. It was like $260-something thousand that he missed out on for being suspended for 3 games. And I know Patrick Beverly, I know the city of LA cannot replace that. But maybe Austin Reeves can replace that for you, because you had Austin Reeves' back. And I'm pretty sure Austin Reeves, you better have bought him a pretzel or something, buy him a cookie, buy him some Starbucks, some coffee, something for doing what he did for you. But much respect for Patrick Beverly. But besides that, you're shooting the worst in your career. So maybe that is the reason why Rob Pelinka's waiting till December 15th to move some other pieces around and not maybe move Westbrook. All right. That's something to go ahead and talk about. But I did kind of tease this to you guys earlier. And I mentioned this. I was like, okay, there's one player that's playing on the best team in the NBA. This player, he's the best player right now, and he's playing on the best team right now. Guess who that is? That is Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics. And I know. A few months ago during the NBA Finals, I was rooting on the Boston Celtics. And not just rooting, but I was just looking at it from the basketball side and looking like, well, Boston's really good. They got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Al Horford. They got some good ball players there. And it just seemed like, Golden State had their numbers. They just go on runs that sometimes no one can stop these Golden State runs. But this year is different. The Boston Celtics are 11-1 at home. And they have just lost 3 games all season long. Some devastating games, some very crucial games. But Boston is just playing tremendous. I watched the full game yesterday, but with Boston playing in the afternoon, and then earlier today, they beat down on the Charlotte Hornets in Boston. And when you see a team like that, it's just like they're just too good. Jason Tatum is averaging 32 points per game. Jaylen Brown is averaging 28 points per game. You look at Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year. He's doing tremendous down there. You look at Derek White shooting the ball lights out. Al Horford looking like Al Horford from 10 years ago. This team is gonna be something. I'm telling you right now, this team is dangerous. No one in the East can compete with the Boston Celtics, and maybe not even the Golden State Warriors, because this year they haven't been the same. They have not been the same, and I'm not sure why that is. They've missed a couple players. They don't have Gary Payne anymore. They don't have Juan Toscano Anderson anymore. They got a couple pieces that left him. They also got the other Anthony guy that left to the Phoenix Suns, Curry's brother-in-law. So there's a couple guys they lost. Golden State is not the same, but the Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA right now. On top of that, Jason Tatum will be the MVP as well. And I mean, there's just nothing else I can tell you guys about the NBA besides Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. They kind of seem to kind of light it up a little bit now. Kyrie and KD, now that Kyrie is back from his suspension, KD and Kyrie are looking pretty good right now, winning again. They beat down another team today. They beat down on Milwaukee the other day. They're doing pretty good. They're getting back on pace. So they still don't have enough to compete with the Boston Celtics, with the Milwaukee Bucks, with the Atlanta Hawks, or maybe even the Cleveland Cavaliers, who the Cavaliers has been doing pretty good with Donovan Mitchell as well. Miami's done. Indiana ain't nothing. New York ain't nothing. So you really don't have much competition. I mean, Chicago's a sleeper out there. Chicago's doing good. DeMar DeRozan playing like the guy that plays at the Drew League every goddamn weekend that I saw a few months ago, because DeMar DeRozan is dropping 36, 35, 33, 37. He's doing good. But I mean, that's exactly what's going on right now. I'm going to give you guys a quick little update, see if something is back with LeBron James. Of course, the Lakers right now, LeBron James, he is out with the left ankle injury. LeBron just returned to the Lakers. He's back on the bench. So apparently he's not in the locker room. So that's a good sign. LeBron's sitting on the bench. So he might be able to return in this game. But like I mentioned, I do have some breaking news in the baseball world with the Los Angeles Dodgers as well. You know what? Right now we got a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and can we take a quick commercial break? We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, I'm going to let you know on the breaking news with Los Angeles Dodgers with this move. Free agency. The free agency is going nuts right now. A lot of winter meetings going on. Who's coming to Los Angeles? I will let you know when we return here on Monday Night Football.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yes, and we are back here live on Monday Night Fredo, live from the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles. So, like I said, we got some baseball news right now here in Los Angeles. Breaking news coming in right now. The Dodgers are in talks with free agent from the Houston Astros, Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander just finished meeting with the Los Angeles Dodgers just a few hours ago. And, it seems like the Dodgers are chasing some pitching. They are chasing Justin Verlander. No matter what the incidents have happened between the Dodgers and the Astros, at the end of the day, Justin Verlander is a two-time World Series champion. He is a future Hall of Famer, the most leading strikeouts per season over the last few seasons as well. So when you look at Justin Verlander, you're looking at some great talent and a great arm, even though he's up in his age. But he's another guy that the Dodgers can use where they're not going to put too much pressure on his arm because you got the offense to back it up. So if the Dodgers end up closing this deal during the free agent winter meetings here in with the baseball, we can see Justin Verlander, Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler coming back from Tommy John surgery. You keep Julio Urias, who should have been the Cy Young. I don't know what the hell Major League Baseball writers are doing, but Julio Urias had the best ERA, most wins. I don't understand why he's not the Cy Young, but that's not the case right now. But you look at a great starting rotation from the Dodgers, and on top of that, the news are still out there. There is still talks within the Dodgers and free agent right fielder from the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge. So 2 possible stars. A couple people departing the team. Cody Bellinger is now returning to the team. Justin Turner is now returning to the team. We saw Clayton Kershaw re-sign for $17 million 1 year as well. So let's see what this Dodger roster ends up being and how it's going to pile up. Because last season was just an awful year. I'm not sure why Dave Roberts is still the manager right now, but the Dodgers have the roster that can win back-to-back World Series champions. But that's just not happening, especially when you have Dave Roberts as your leader. You're not going to win like that. I don't know if we should even count the 2020 World Series champion. We kind of should. But at the same time, the Dodgers got to win it, and they got to win it here in Los Angeles. So with that being said, Justin Verlander again in talks with the Dodgers to close in on the deal to come to Los Angeles. And Aaron Judge is still speculation out there that he did meet with the San Francisco Giants. He is from the Bay Area, but is not committed to going to the Giants. He is open to meeting with other teams. The Dodgers have talked with them as well. I know Aaron Judge is most likely going to make up his mind prior to like maybe the end of the year, maybe towards Christmas time. He might make some sort of announcement. So expect something on Aaron Judge in a few weeks, but expect something on Justin Verlander in the next 48 hours. So again, Dodgers and Justin Verlander in talks. That's kind of exciting. But another thing is LeBron and the Lakers. Let's see what happens with LeBron and his injury. Let's see what happens in the NFL this upcoming weekend. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts just beat down on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that was the call. But again, the Chargers and the Raiders this Sunday, live from Las Vegas. Who's going to get it? Justin Herbert or that beat up Derek Carr that's surprisingly making some very good, decent throws? We'll see what happens on Sunday. I'll see you guys next Monday night here, live from the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles. Adios. I'll see you next Monday.